Hey everybody, welcome back, Mort McFly channel. I've been out of action for 2 days with some allergies that got out of control and a sinus pressure, but I'm back. It's raining in Chicago. It's about 1:10 p.m. I've done 2 deliveries so far, made about $80. And so now what I'm doing what I said I was going to be doing on Monday. I'm looking for these sweet spots. They're not really hot spots, but they're places I like to wait at, and I usually get a big order. And I have a couple spots that work very successfully. One place I'll always go at right around 10:30. Then there's another place I go at 11:30. There's another place I go at 12. But now that it's 1 o'clock, I just go cold. So what I'm doing right now is a pause and leave. That's my technique. I leave the area with the dash pause, a fresh dash or the old dash, and then I'm going to resume outside my area. And we're going to do that right now here on Ashland Avenue, and boom, he's on his back. Little quote from a video game there. But anyways, so let's see what this goes like. Now what I'm going to do is, because I really want to hurry up the process of finding this spot where I need to lay, I'm going to slowly start coming back towards the area. And hoping, well, the difficulty with this is there's no free parking over here, but we'll have to adapt as best as we can. But first we're going to see if any orders come in out here, which is a no. Usually it would happen right away. I imagine, especially with the rain, potentially one more really nice order might be on the way. And I'm not going to go any further out because the busier it is, the further out you can go. The less busy it is, the closer to your area you need to be. And remember, I'm not dashing along the way. I never do that, so I'm not going to get any orders from the West Loop area I'm currently in because I just don't believe in it, and it's not as effective as this. Because I'm trying to get as few offers as possible. I only want to get the offers that count, and so far these various techniques seem to get me the offers that count and don't flood my phone with hundreds and hundreds of offers. I mean, if I wanted to do that, I would just sit downtown and just hope and pray I get the order instead of doing this. So now let's slowly start going back in, and I'm going to be looking for 15-minute standing zones and legal parking spots that I don't have to pay for as I go in. Worst comes to worst, I might just go shop at Target up here. Actually, I will do that. But use those quote marks. So we'll do this for about 5 or 10 minutes. We'll see what happens, and then on the next video, when I continue this project, I'll let you know how it went. Don't believe I'm going to make this traffic light because I'm not trying to make it. Oh, man. Yeah, my back started acting all weird. Let me get some water. That's not an order. That's another stupid hat. Alright, that was weird. Anyways, nothing yet, so we're going to slowly go back into our zone. We're going to try not to get too far. I think worst comes to worst, there's a 15-minute spot up here that might be available. But I mainly just want to see what happens, what type of orders will come in as we get closer. The reason I went south today was I wanted to get away from my Dash Mart and from the Kitchen United that always has a lot of bad orders, and be closer to, there's a salad place in my area that's directly in front of me, about a mile and a half. That's the place that usually comes through pretty late, and there's a couple other places right there that last minute lunch going out about 1:30ish could happen easily. A lot of offices, and with the rain, people less likely to do their own thing, who knows? Just gotta keep my fingers crossed. I also want to talk about one other thing. I've mentioned it a couple times. Don't construe my videos to be tips and tricks. This is an experiment. You can try your own experiments. You can mess around on these apps, but there's no guarantee any of this will work for anybody else. Unique factors in my market, in your market. I mean, you can try it. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't. Maybe you'll find it has to be tweaked a little bit. But I mean, everything's worth a try. But just keep in mind that the key to doing these apps is figuring out things for yourself and trying to figure out things nobody else has figured out. That's one of my trademarks at it, is to do things. Don't do the things the same way everybody else does, because that's just not guaranteed to work. Try to be different. Try to be unique. Try to think outside the box. That's for you, Arturo. Gee, I get that one. All right. Getting closer. Try not to use branding models in the things you say. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. We've been going for about 6 minutes. I want to say we started the dash 4 minutes ago. And we are getting pretty close, so... Now, I may have to start experimenting with dashing along the way instead of doing it like this. But then I'd have to pick some different spots to be at. We'll see how it works. Because the orders might be coming out of the West Loop. I don't know. They could be anywhere. By now I would have expected to get an order. I'm going to go use this one. Alright, here's our first one. Long distance one. Alright, interesting. So we're right about where I want to be. Sometimes right after those long distance orders, they'll throw me one. So I definitely don't want to go any closer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly going around the block right where I am. You can see where I am right here. I started over here. The first order came here. Actually, all the free parking spaces are taken. But this one, no. That says Monday. No, that's amazing. Well, it's not going to matter much. Alright, just a couple more minutes. I want to see what it will be like if I get the next order. But it's looking more and more like it's not seemingly mattering where I am. But we'll see. It might be a matter of switching to dashing along the way and moving further out. I don't know. Haven't decided yet. But first I want to finish up with this because if I can find the right spot, then I could go there and see if I can repeat it over and over and over again. That's just the basic strategy I've employed the last couple of months. Once you find a spot at a certain time when you get an order, go back there the next day at that same time, except for the weekends. But so every lunch shift, I'm doing the exact same thing after orders. Halstead is as close as I want to get. If I go any closer, it'll be too close. Here, let's do that one thing I like to do, which is turn off the location for a second. See if something comes in while I do that. Nothing so far. They really want you to be in the zone right now. There must not be as many orders. Try this. See what the next order looks like, and then I'm gonna end the video. I don't want it to be too long because then I'll make a mistake. When you take the videos like I do when you do it live, you only really get one take and you can't make any mistakes on it. The longer I do the video, the more likely I'm gonna click the wrong button or do something, show like other people's sensitive personal information or something like that. We'll make it 15 minutes max and see if something comes around. I have a feeling that this might be right where I need to be at. Let's do this thing again. Clear that stupid thing that came up on Reddit. Gotta remember to turn off the notifications for that app as well. Waiting for it to happen. A few more seconds. I'm actually surprised I haven't gotten as many orders, but the other thing, I didn't mention it, the other thing that's slowing down my experiment right now, and that's really slowing down my experiment, is the 350 peak pay, because it's raining. I forgot to mention that. I should have mentioned that right away. Yeah, that is slowing me down too. Because the peak pay is too large, so there's probably a lot of people who targeted my area because they saw it. I think I've used that as long as I'm willing to abuse it. Let's move on. It says it's busy, but that could be very deceptive at the end of a shift when it says it's busy. I think that's the other thing I'm starting to learn about the heat map is that it seems to be less accurate when it's near the end of the shift, but at times it seems to have some meaning to it. So I bet you there are orders. I'm just surprised I haven't been able to trigger one out here. We did see the one, so I wasn't completely off my rocker, but still, peak pay has always been is another factor that ruins some of my experiments, because most of the time, there's just hardly ever any peak pay out here. So seeing a $3.50 peak pay is, like, kind of different. Okay, and there is nothing. Would have been nice for it to happen right away, but it didn't happen, and that's about 15 minutes. So I'll make the next video about this the next day, and I'll update what happened to me for the rest of this shift. Probably nothing much is going to happen. I have the feeling. In fact, tomorrow, what I'll have to do if tomorrow's a normal day, I'm going to have to do the same exact thing tomorrow I did today, because I think peak pay might be interfering with what I'm trying to do. So that's probably what will happen tomorrow. It'll look almost the same, but we'll see if the results look different without the peak pay. I think I'll find that kind of interesting. Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day. Good luck out there.